currently features Mr. Bob Levdansky versus Chris Gorski, who are... I need to flip around because they are on there incorrectly.
And I think Bob is actually on Grixis Death Shadow.
Okay.
He may not be. I saw some Grixis cards. And I know he goes back and forth sometimes, but...
Tell the people what they're seeing, and I'll fix this up.
Alright, so Chris opened up with a... I forget the name. Concealed Courtyard?
Yes.
The blue-white?
Blue-black.
Blue-black.
White-black. White-black. We swear we know what we're doing.
I know how to talk. Alright. And Bob fetches out here a Blood Crypt. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't play those colors, so I don't...
That was mean.
Red-black is not my cup of tea, personally, but I do respect it. You gotta respect it, especially when they hit you with the turn 1 Inquisition. They start just tearing your hand to pieces.
Alright, Chris reveals Tidehollow Sculler, Path to Exile, Eldrazi Temple Swamp, Thought-Knot Seer, and Fatal Push.
Yep.
And
so this is almost like a black-white Eldrazi?
It might be Eldrazi and Taxes.
Oh, it could be Eldrazi and Taxes. That's true. It probably is, now that I think about it. Also, a pretty formidable deck. Eldrazi and Taxes.
Yeah, we had it on our feature match last week while you guys were in Baltimore.
It's not very big in the meta right now, but it can definitely get you if you're not prepared for it.
So here's Tidehollow Sculler, and Bob will reveal Thoughtseize, Watery Grave, Fatal Push, Terminate, and 2 Street Race. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on Death Shadow.
Yeah, yep.
So Bob actually faced this deck in the finals last week against Dan.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught any of the coverage from last week.
I saw like 2 seconds of one.
But Ron is never, ever doing Magic coverage. Ever again.
I didn't hear the sound. Somebody... shout out to Turtle. Somebody, when we were in the middle of our rounds in
Turtle's
Baltimore...
not here. That's what...
Yeah, when we were in the middle of our FNM in Baltimore, somebody... we all kind of met up, all the guys from the area. We all ended up kind of converging at MTG First. There's a big store out there. And somebody had it up on their phone and made sure to tell everybody that Turtle was on stream. I think he was playing against a burn deck, and what I saw was, I think, 4 Spreading Seas.
Yep.
Out, and I was like, oh, jeez.
I remember the match well.
Yeah.
He played against Burn in round 1. It was Brian Alaconis, and he unfortunately, he drowned him.
Yeah, it seemed like it. I was too busy Ponzi-ing my way to a 3-1 finish. Which got me some nice store credit at that place.
Yeah?
But, yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting... I played a red-white prison deck. A Jeskai control deck. I forget what else I played. I played 4 decks. I hardly remember them.
Lantern?
No. This is at the FNM.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
You said...
I played Curtis.
Eldrazi
I
right?
played Curtis one of the rounds. Curtis and I ended up playing each other in the last round, and I got the edge out against Burn. No, I played Eldrazi Tron in round 1 of the Open.
Gotcha. Alright, so here's Tidehollow Sculler taking Bob down to 8.
Yep. And Bob just leaving his hand out there to the Sculler.
So life total is getting pretty low, but the Death Shadows decks, they don't seem to mind that so much.
No, as long as they can get a Death Shadow.
Which it looks like Bob is not. And he may be going down to... Looks like he's thinking about terminating
the Sculler to get back a...
Fatal Push.
Fatal Push, which is not... I mean, this is not bad. You're basically just keeping a removal spell in hand and getting rid of a creature on the board. But, you know, Terminate definitely has an advantage in that it can more easily get bigger creatures like Reality Smasher or Thought-Knot Seer.
Right.
You can get Thought-Knot Seer if you can trigger Revolt. which now that he has a fetch land, he would be able to do. There's an Eldrazi Temple. So he could cast a Reality Smasher if he has one here.
Yep.
It looks like he's just going to go to combat. And, yep, there's the Terminate.
The Fatal Push cannot push around Reality Smasher.
No, it cannot.
Alright, here's the fetch. Down to 7.
I think Reality Smasher just has too much text on it, man.
It does. It should have lost something there.
A 5/5 with haste and trample, 4/5, and if you try to target it with anything, you have to discard a card.
And being 5 is actually an advantage because of Abrupt Decay and Fatal Push.
Right. It's like, where do you draw the line, Wizards? Like, where...
Hate that card. Grixis has been assembled by Bob Levdansky. Alright, here's the Death Shadow.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Grixis,
it is a 6/6.
Did you catch the Nicol Bolas spoiler?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. He's going to be pretty sweet in Commander.
He's got 4 abilities, so there's a Fatal Push immediately.
Yeah, and you can push around a Death Shadow.
Yep.
There's
Temple. Another Temple. So now you could do such award-winning plays as like a Thought Knot and a Matter Reshaper.
Mr. Gorski's doing a good job keeping his hands from us. So
yeah. I have no idea what he has in hand.
He has
3.
a Wasteland Strangler.
Yeah.
Which does nothing on the empty board.
Right. Is it -2
It is.
to every creature when it comes into play?
No, to a creature.
Oh, to a creature.
Yeah,
okay.
if you process, I believe.
Oh, if you process.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's
there
2 damage
and
and getting back the Death Shadow.
Man, Culligan's Command, such a strong card in tandem with Death Shadow.
It really is. Just bringing those things back and Snapcaster Mage too. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
The value to be had. All right, so it looks like Chris has Plains. What is it? And Shriek Mod, which unfortunately doesn't do anything against Death
hard
Shadow.
Cast.
Yeah.
I respect it.
I mean, that's the power of the evoke creatures. Early game they're the spell, and late game they're the spell and the creature.
And Shriek Mod can't be pushed.
Yeah, it cannot be pushed. And it has fear, right?
It has fear, yeah.
All right, so here is a swing for 6. Chris probably gonna take this hit. Yep, just go down to 14.
He gets a free swing back, essentially. Yep. Can take him to 4.
What is the power to...
What, for Shriek Mod?
Yeah.
It's a 3/2.
Yeah. But now...
It's nothing to scoff at,
But now Bob has a black creature that can block.
That's true.
Which is unfortunate for Chris.
Yeah, it'd be a little better if it had, like, Swamp Walk or something.
Like Street Wraith. Alright,
Bob has been known to hard cast his Street Wraiths as well in the past.
So here's a Relic of Progenitus, which Chris will probably just cycle here.
Yeah, not doing a lot in this matchup. Good against Tarmogoyfs, but there are no Tarmogoyfs.
No, but there are Culligan's Commands and probably Snapcaster Mages. But still, I think you cycle it here to try and draw a removal spell.
And we saw at Baltimore, at the Open, 4-color Death Shadow.
Everything but white?
Is, yeah, pretty much. And, when does a card become officially busted if there's, like, 5 different decks that you can build around a card and it'll be good no matter what, you know?
I see what you're saying, but I think they need to not ban something.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, oh, they're going to ban Death Shadow, and now they got to ban something out of the Collected Company deck. And
yeah. I actually hope that they don't ban anything for a while, because thanks to Death Shadow being a thing now, blue-white control is actually a lot better positioned.
That's all. You're just saying that because you're playing that deck.
Well, yeah.
Here's Fatal Push on the Mutavault.
Oh man.
The Changeling is now a Deadling, and Shriekmaw will block one of the 2 6/6s, but Bob's gonna go down to at least 6, which will make those 7/7s. Yes.
Yep.
So Chris is gonna take 7, go to 7. Is there a Grizzlebrand on the table? Nope, just a Death Shadow.
No.
Or 2.
Yeah. I think Baltimore showed us the modern metagame right now is, I think, incredibly diverse.
Yeah.
Probably more so than it has been in a while. And obviously people say, like, oh, Death Shadow, it's unquestionably the best deck. But I don't think it is unquestionably the best deck. It's getting played the most.
Company seems like it.
Yeah,
it
Counters
could be.
Company is a thing now, thanks to the new Vizier of Remedies. And it looks like Bob's going to take game one here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I think, like, even prior to the Death Shadow thing blowing up, I think Company was a contender for best deck in the format. I like that it's not obvious that there's a best deck like it was in Legacy with Miracles for so long.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's you've got a lot. You mean Tron is always still solid. Burn has dropped off a bit, but it's
still
Burn,
one of the better decks.
Burn will always be Burn, like it'll always be playable. What else did I see? I played a lot of funky matchups in Baltimore.
What about the Storm deck?
Storm, it's big online, but I don't see too many people playing on paper much. Probably because it's confusing to try to keep up with your Storm count and everything. And,
it is nice that Magic, tracks your mana, tracks your Storm count. Yeah. You can't make like mistakes with like Past in Flames where I thought that had flashback and it didn't because I cast it after flat.
Yeah, but some people do play it. It is a big deck online. I know Affinity is still big. Blue-white control is still kind of a fringe thing, but it is getting bigger.
Right.
Different blue-white like X variants are really big. I know the Modern Classic was won by a Jeskai control player.
Was it?
The finals was Jeskai control versus 4-color control, which was like an Esper and Jeskai control.
Weird. Like
mashed together. The lists are really spicy, and in the GP that was going on, GP Kobe, I believe, in Japan. Kobe, sorry. There was an Esper control list that made top 8, I believe, and
dang man.
Yeah. It's coming up. It's a good time right now in Modern. I think it's really diverse. People will say, I read a lot of articles and I know a lot of pros say that Death Shadow is still the best deck. It's the one that's putting up the most results still, and I think it is a pretty large part of the meta. That's an interesting graphic.
And now, two Massacre Worms and a Terastodon.
Why are we doing this?
I don't know.
Alright, well.
We just are. Deal with it.
Okay.
And now, the monsters are leaving. Alright, and more about control. I'm going to bring our chats up. Unfortunately, we failed to bring the chats up.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. So, I saw a lot of funky decks. Oh, Abzan Traverse now. Traditional Jund is back on the rise thanks to Reed Duke.
Oh yeah, I was actually I wasn't watching the coverage, but I'm in a Jund group on Facebook and they had a thread going, so I was kind of casually following.
Yeah, he played Olivia Voldaren, and
they used to play that card.
It was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it's really good against Obzone.
Yeah,
the company.
Yeah, I saw a lot. I mean, I played Lantern Control, Eldrazi Tron. I had a Jund Death Shadow matchup, a Grixis Death Shadow matchup, and a traditional Jund matchup. And then I played a very surprising blue-black mill deck.
I remember
yes.
A few years ago I was trying out a bunch of different modern decks, and I played Esper Mill for a couple of events.
Yeah. Yeah,
cool.
The kid who played me was a little squirrely. Beat him 2-1. But here's how I lost game 2. I went to fetch a land at the end of my turn, and on my end step, he archive trapped me 3 times.
LOL.
And I said, well, I guess I lose, because that's my entire deck, practically. Played Red-White Allies. Played a Burn matchup. Ponza feels pretty good against Burn.
I'm glad you got to play a lot of Magic.
It was a fun time.
Alright, here's Mutavault into Relic.
Relic.
Yep. I see Chris is keeping those in post game. I do think they're good against like.
Yeah, situationally.
They're good against Snapcaster Mage. I mean, you can
good
blow
against
it up and counter.
Good against. Cool against command.
Right.
I still don't get why the Terrestodon thing happened.
Because it's sweet. Look, I mean, it's just awesome. I found that earlier.
Did you just find that somewhere?
I was Googling the Oracle text on Massacre, and I found that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess it would be a massacre if they had a massacre worm and a Terrestodon staring you down from the inside.
I don't even want to tell you what I did when I streamed a Legacy League earlier, and I don't even want to tell you what I did. But
you're gonna tell me.
Yep.
I have a feeling.
We got some shade being thrown at Tyler in the Twitch chat.
Raid boss singed 420. Okay. I know the reference, but I don't know who you are.
I feel like I knew and I forgot. All right, so Bob is fetching down to 17. He is cast
2 Thought Seasons?
No.
What's up with that?
That's from the Thought Scour that he cast.
Ah, okay. I missed the Thought Scour.
All right, Street Wraith down to 15.
Yep. Looks like he's got quite a few lands in it.
Yeah, the face palm from Curtis Taylor.
Yeah.
Tell that guy to settle down. Simmer down now. All right, Blood Crypt down to 13. Bob's killing himself. Chris doesn't have to do anything.
Well, that's what happens when you're in Death Shadow.
This deck still perplexes me. The point is to put your opponent at 0.
Yeah. Has our Facebook stream frozen here?
Possibly.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
All right.
I think our view of it just froze, but not the actual stream.
So Bob almost able to get a Death Shadow down. Just hard main phases. Oh no, end of step. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, he just end steps a Snapcaster. The relic's out anyway.
He just ambush vipered it.
Yeah, he just. Oh, but here's a fatal push from Chris Gorski. Boom.
Oh, it's AJ. Okay.
I don't know what.
Curtis saying you played so many fake decks. Probably talking about Baltimore. I did play.
Yeah,
I did play a lot of fake decks.
He said that while you were ranting about the Stoneblade, or not the Stoneblade.
The Stoneblade.
My mind is all Legacy about the Blue Black Mill.
Oh yeah.
And you were talking about all those decks. So here's Serum Visions. I love that art.
I like it too.
Basic is land. We're gonna cycle, blow up, draw.
I am a fan of the FNM Serum Visions.
No, I am not a fan of the FNM Serum Visions.
I'll say I was a fan of it until I read
until you saw
online
it.
It didn't occur to me what that looked like. Until
you are an innocent soul.
You know, I'm not. But
okay, well we'll just end it here. Here's 2 green sleeves.
I'd still probably play it.
I think I would go for the...
It's almost more funny to me now.
I would go for the Modern Masters art myself. Not that... I doubt I'll be casting Serum Visions anytime soon in my Magic career. Alright. A swamp for Bob.
Up to 4 lands here. It's a nice foil.
This Jace mana. Here comes Jace. I don't know.
Oh, no. There's a Cole again.
So it looks
here
like...
Here comes Jace. What?
Jace the Mind Sculptor. It's Jace mana. Oh, yeah. Wrong format. My bad. Alright. So it looks like he shot himself.
Were bad things done to you in Legacy earlier today?
Very, very bad things. So it looks like Bob shocked himself.
Yeah, shocked himself to get a Death Shadow play,
like,
and
here's a
there
path.
is a path for it.
Does he have... It looks like he only has 2 basics and doesn't need the shuffle, so he just decides not to.
Yep, alright. There's a temple. There's a
Thought-Knot Seer. Bob reveals 3
Wow.
fatal pushes.
And a stubborn denial.
Yeah. Well, I guess you take the stubborn denial. The issue with streaming Legacy on Wednesdays is that means I need 2 people who are okay not playing Legacy on Wednesdays, which is an issue because we play Legacy so rarely. Most people would rather just play, which I don't blame them, myself included.
Bob just fetched and shocked here for Steam Vince.
Yep, down to 8.
Which means he will be able to push the Thought-Knots here. And he does.
Pushed it so good. Thought-Knot hits the bin, and Bob gets to draw a card.
Well, Chris casts another Thought-Knots here. It kept a little bit of a landlight hand, but it's not stopping him from getting a bunch of Thought-Knots here. So probably takes a second there, the last Fatal Push here. Yep, and he does. Probably not too concerned with the Serpent Denial since he's mostly plays creatures in this deck anyways. And Bob can't even get Ferocious on it right now. What, Ferocity? Is it
Ferocious?
Ferocious? It is Ferocious. Okay.
Ferocity.
And a Reality Smasher. Ew. And there's a big swing for lethal.
Hey guys, we got to game 3.
Sweet, alright.
Chris Gorski tying it up after Ron destroyed him in the commentary of his match against David Tennant last week.
What?
It was... So we had Ron...
I'm gonna have to rewatch this.
You really should.
I'll have to rewatch it.
It was bad.
Alright, both players are going back to their sideboards again. Probably taking a look here.
Bob better make sure he starts this next game at 20.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you played Death Shadow and you had the opportunity to start the game at a lower life total, would you?
Probably not, because you get a lot of resources from
by like
putting your life total low.
Straight wraiths and fetch land.
Yeah, so if you
you probably just kill yourself.
Right, yeah.
But maybe you just have Swamp Death Shadow, and then they path it.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of ways to kill a Death Shadow. Creature combat, not likely one of them.
Not likely. Until they meet Primeval Titan.
Unless you have a Chameleon Colossus, which let me tell you what,
yeah.
Chameleon Colossus, I ran 3 of them in my Pawns list in Baltimore, and it was super sweet.
I've played that in Pod, and I played it in Obzon Midrange. I love that card. It's my favorite changeling. Screw you, Mutavault.
What, Chameleon Colossus?
Mm-hmm.
He's sweet.
Yeah. Pro Black.
He can get huge. I actually, in Baltimore...
He can get huge!
I stole a win in my game against Eldrazi Tron in round 1 in Baltimore because my opponent didn't have any creatures and he was at 16 life. And I said, hey, I got 8 mana and a Chameleon Colossus. This 4/4 is now 16/16.
Oh my.
And I think you're dead.
Oh my. This is very brutal.
Both players doing cuts here.
Yeah. If you are in the Morgantown-ish area, we are having 2 events here tomorrow. We have a free event at 5 o'clock. It is the standard Amonkhet Showdown.
Oh.
And then where you can get the promo booster packs that do contain rares and foils from any standard legal set. And then also we have a Modern Winterbox at 6 o'clock that is only $10 to play in. Hard to beat.
What's the box?
Whatever. I mean, whatever, regularly priced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or you can have store credit, which is what most people do.
Finishing up my current list that I'm looking at right now, but I need a few more cards for it, so...
Let's get some store credit. Come win it. You can put in the results so whoever's behind the counter doesn't have to do it, and they'll be your best friend.
Just give myself all the wins?
No. Shut up, man. Shut up.
I would never do that, of course.
Alright, so it looks like Chris is going down to 6. Bob's happy with his 7. I saw a Liliana in his hand.
Oh.
Not the good one, but not the A one, but the B one.
Oh, there's some people that would maybe argue
I'll fight.
about that.
I'll fight.
Yeah.
I'm game.
I'm
You
impartial.
want to go out back?
I'm impartial because I don't like either of them.
I've cast
Although
Liliana of the Veil way too many times.
Although I did pull a foil Liliana of the Veil out of a Modern Master 17 box.
Dang.
And traded it away for a whole bunch of things that I wanted, including a non-foil Liliana of the Veil.
Dang. Dang, man.
Yeah.
Are you a Pro Tour champion? Because I think you might be Martin. Dang. All right, here's
A fetch down to 17 for Bob Levdansky.
Yep. Are we going to see a Thoughtseize here? I think we might. Oh, no. Thought Scour.
Targeting himself. And he's going to mill over Serum Vision's Thoughts. Nope.
Tasigur and a Death
I was
Shadow.
so wrong. Just mills over 2 win conditions. Well, that's okay. He's got Colgan's Command.
He's got Colgan's Command. He
That's
can get
fine.
the Death Shadow back.
Or the Tasker.
You can't get Tasigur back with it.
You can. It's just return a creature, isn't it?
Thought it was creature with converted mana cost 2 or less.
Well, let's find out.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe I'm
confused.
wrong.
Well, he just delves out a Tasigur on turn 2.
The blah. Return target creature card.
Oh,
from graveyard to
all right.
graveyard. Yeah.
See, even better than I thought, man.
Because I remember like people like bringing back Gurmag Anglers, and which is good. Turn 2 Taskers are strong.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to have to deal with one of those unless I had a path.
He's got a nice booty. All right.
He's lounging for sure. Blessed Alliance.
Sack an attacking creature, I'd
Chris
imagine. Yep.
sneaking it in there.
Very nice. Very nice. Does Bob have another land? No, unfortunately, he looks like he missed his land drop, so he's not casting that Liliana.
No.
He did out of a Death Shadow. Of course, his life total was just a wee bit too high.
Yep, that will die immediately. I learned recently that if you somehow manage to stay alive with a negative life total, that a Death Shadow will get bigger than a 13/13.
Dang. That makes sense.
Yeah.
With like a Phyrexian on life or...
Yeah, I was doing some research on the
Golbat.
Oh, Golbats! Look out! I was doing some research on the history of Death Shadow, like how it came to be its current incarnation, and
Yeah.
I guess one of the earliest uses for it back in the early days of Modern was in a list that used, I think, like Phyrexian Unlife or something like that, and yeah, it had to be the one because that lets you go less than 1.
Here's Thoughtseize for Chris Gorski, and we're going to see 3 Fatal Pushes again.
Wow.
Liliana Snapcaster and 2 Death Shadows. I don't even know.
That is a handful of gas.
He
just needs 1 land, really.
I guess you get rid of the Liliana because if he draws a land, then the Liliana will be really good against the Lingering Souls.
Yeah. Not
But-
really worth getting the Fatal Pushes necessarily because you can just snap them back.
And also,
He
Fatal
doesn't have
Push
to worry about Death Shadow right this second.
Fatal Push is not good against Lingering Souls anyway.
No, he can try to push as many of those as he wants, and he'll just say, "Hey, there's this thing called Flashback, and I'm just gonna get more."
Yeah, and here's more bats. Is Bob Levdansky in Mount Moon because he's being assaulted by some bat type
What it is
Pokemon?
now.
Those are from the classic art project from the Kickstarter.
Oh.
They are tokens, and they did tokens and playmats based on famous pieces of artwork.
Oh, okay. So which I can't really tell what that one is.
I don't recognize that one.
Almost looks like some sort of little gremlin thing.
It is not Gizmo. Alright, Mutavault
It is a
for Chris. So is this really Eldrazi in taxes, or is it just like a black-white?
I don't know.
It seems more like a black-white Eldrazi mid-range deck.
It does. It is seeming that way. There's not much taxes.
Mm-hmm.
There's not even that much Eldrazi. But it's like a weird amalgam of Eldrazi and taxes and black-white tokens almost.
Here's that 3rd land. Still, Bob's in the spot where Fatal Pushing Spirit tokens is something he may have to do.
Yeah. Well, now he's down to where
10.
he can actually start casting some Death Shadows, and it looks like Chris just has 2 lands in hand, unless I saw that incorrectly.
It's possible.
So he might have to draw an answer for those fairly soon. Oh no, he does have some stuff in hand.
I see a concealed courtyard.
Yeah. Do we get Death Shadow?
Death Shadow, yeah, and then just save those fatal pushes.
He can. Oh, he's got 2 left. So, there's a
push.
fatal push. There you go.
That might be a fatal blow for Bob Levdansky.
I mean, so he can push 2 of them, and then he can come back and Snapcaster and push the last one.
Yeah, but that's going to take 2 full turns.
Yeah, and it's also pretty. I mean,
And there's
it's
that,
inefficient for the use of the cards, but you gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
Yeah, no, you got to try and stay alive.
Yeah.
In for 3, Bob's down to 7.
Yep, so now the Death Shadows is 6/6 for 1 mana, you know?
We're good.
It's fine. It's whatever. People thought Goyf was busted.
Well, Goyf doesn't require you to kill yourself.
To be almost dead, yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather pay 1 more mana.
Oh, man. There was a worldwide scramble for Goyfs the day that Future Sight came out.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
That was way before my time.
That card has always been just really good.
I've heard that there was a period where it was considered a junk rare and just nobody thought it was good.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That's just I don't know. That's all secondhand.
Well, when I was following Standard during Time Spiral, Ravnica, it seemed like there was a zoo deck, like a red. I think it was Naya's Zoo, but they didn't call it Naya back then because that wasn't a thing.
That was before Alara.
Yeah, but it had like Curd Apes and Tarmogoyfs, and it was pretty scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Dragon's Maze came out, I played a Jund modern deck with Death Shadow and the Golgari legendary creature that scavenges out of the graveyard.
Oh yeah.
I played a deck, so it was Jund, and it was those 2 plus like Curd Apes and Wild Nacatls, so that you could just like scavenge. If you could play your Death Shadow and it'll die, and then you get to scavenge it, put 13 counters on creatures.
That's inventive.
It was fun. It was not good, but it was
That's
fun.
He's like a troll, right?
Yeah.
I think some Death Shadow lists of the Jund variety sometimes run a one of that card in the sideboard to do something similar.
Here's 2 pushes. I'm wondering why Chris didn't attack with that Mutavault. Maybe he's planning on blocking.
Yeah.
So Bob's going to take 1 and go down to 6.
Yeah. The Death Shadow is just going to keep getting bigger, so...
All that dies grows the shadow.
Just your life, really.
Rilla. Looks like Chris is tightening up the board state in the tank, considering his options. He may also just have a big spell to cast here, or a couple. He does have 1 basic, it looked like. Alright, so
surgical.
Hmm.
What does he take here?
I don't know.
Fatal Push? Doesn't seem like a great...
No, Death Shadow.
Death Shadow. So he says, I'm going to get you down to that 1, and I'm going to hopefully find a way to deal with it. So...
Okay. So...
Interesting...
Hold it up to the camera, Chris!
Interesting that Bob didn't just stubborn denial it.
Well, it's not targeting... Stubborn Denial will only...
it's a
non-creature spell. You're right.
And he's got Ferocious.
Well, actually, I think it's fine because this use of Surgical doesn't actually take any cards away from Bob.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably what a lot of players might have done is hold up that Surgical to just Surgical whatever Snapcaster targets. Then you're getting closer to a card's worth of value off the Surgical extraction.
Right.
And a pass.
So
because this actually doesn't affect Bob's hand or board in any way.
Right. He can try to activate the Mutavault to block, but Bob can just go snap, push, or now he's got Terminate. So
yeah, so it would have been better, or perhaps it would have been better to.
Now, if Chris is sitting on his own removal spell, he could try to use it here. He knows that Bob has a Stubborn Denial in hand.
He does. Oh, it looks like Bob drew a terminate for the turn.
Yes. There's a lot. Oh,
He's just gonna let him block.
he's just gonna let it block.
I mean, this could now you get to save these terminates for reality smashers.
You have terminate with 3 fatal bushes in the graveyard and 2 snapcasters. He's got a lot of removals. So.
Bob's not really in any duress, like under any pressure anymore. So why?
Right.
Yeah.
Why waste the card? There's another thought knot.
Yep.
That will probably
Get
I wonder
terminated with the trigger on the stack.
Right.
Alright, so it looks like here's the terminate.
Yep.
So then he'll get to draw. Now he should draw first and then yes. Okay.
Okay.
So Serum Vision, Stubborn Denial, 2 Snapcaster Mages. Chris is just going to take a Snapcaster Mage.
Yep.
A lot of times you don't pick whatever there's double of, but I like taking Snapcaster Mage because it just has the most value.
2 Snapcaster Mages can be pretty brutal to go against.
In for 1, Bob's down to 5. That's a hard decision to make to attack there.
I wonder what Bob's if he's just gonna let him hit him for 7.
If maybe Chris has no, because he knows about Stubborn
He knows
Denial.
about the Stubborn Denial. Maybe he's hoping that Bob will have to tap down all his blue sources.
Maybe.
Looks like Bob's got a Stubborn Denial and something else. And he's just gonna scribe both.
I think I would have been tempted to leap the Spirit Token back to block and force Bob to either just let me chump or use a Snapcaster Fatal Push and take up his whole turn.
Right. That's also tricky about playing against Death Shadow too, because you have to. It's not intuitive because you have to kill them to win the game. But the more you kill them, the better chance they have of just turning around and killing you.
Here's Thoughtseize. Bob's down to 3, and it's the Plains.
So it is a 10-10.
So another thing, like if Bob got greedy and snap Fatal Push that Spirit Token, then that gives Chris a window to draw a removal spell and
yeah. Looks like he drew. Is that another thought knot here?
I don't know.
I couldn't see. He drew something. It's not a land.
Okay, here's the Plains.
He has a land.
These are the Plains that was not Thoughtseized. It looks like he's not dead, so he's. Oh, does he have another? Oh, okay, I thought it was a Mutavault for a second.
This is where you wish you just had a lightning bolt.
Yeah,
I think you just hit him for 3.
So yes, it is thought knot here. I assume he's going to take that Fatal Push.
He might want to take the Snapcaster and then hope that Bob doesn't have a way to trigger Revolt on his next turn. He'd have to draw,
Yeah.
He'd have to draw into a way to trigger Revolt.
Yep.
Which there is a lot of ways to do it with Death Shadow, but so now
do you attack with the Spirit Token?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think I would. I would hope that he can only get 1 removal or 0 removal. And either have to leave the Death Shadow back or try to attack to get a jump block and then turn around. Also, so he's just going to play.
Alright, so there's Street Wraith. Well, that's a gamble. Alright, block.
There you go.
Yep. Die. Here's Kulgan's command for 2.
Oh, man.
And it looks like, Bob Levdansky takes this one 2-1 over Chris Gorski.
What a nail biter.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so not a lot of time left on the clock, so we will be back for
Round 4.
Round 4, indeed. Yeah. Why is Death Shadow on the board if it got surgically extracted? So, AJ, that's not how surgical extraction works. It will just remove any copies of the card in the hand, graveyard, or library. It doesn't remove any that are on the board. And I see Curtis already answered that. So, good job, Curtis. All right, we will be back, guys.
Curtis, get back to work, man. Why don't we...
Yeah, you're gonna get fired. You need to watch it, man.
All right, we'll be back.
BRB. Thanks, guys.